Hi Instagram, hi Facebook, I'm on both. So if you see me looking from one to the other, it's because I'm on Facebook and Instagram going live, guys. I'm here to tell you, let me just check that Facebook is live. Is it working? Yes. So Facebook, Instagram, hi guys. I'm here to give you 3 ideas to cope with boredom, which I think is really helpful at times like this because, we're feeling all different emotions. We're feeling anxious, scared, also probably a little bit cool about it because we get to stay at home. That might be good for some people, it might not be good for others. Basically, we're feeling a mix of emotions, like all round. And a big emotion that used to come up for me all the time before I learned how to work from home is I was always bored. Like, always bored, even as a child. The amount of times I said to my mum and my dad, like, oh my God, I'm so bored, give me something to do. And a lot of my friends have actually messaged me and said that they're really bored. What can I do? So I thought I'd write a blog post about it. So I am referring to my notes as well as multitasking on Instagram and Facebook. How cool am I? If it works. So we're only a few weeks into this crazy coronavirus shizzle that we're going through, and some of us are already starting to feel the cabin fever vibes and basically so much boredom. So a friend of mine also reached out to me and did say that this social distancing has made her hit an emotional wall. People are posting online constantly about them feeling anxiety, they're coped up, they're bored, they're feeling stressed, they're worried, and it's going to get to all of us, and we're all feeling similar feelings. So in this post, we're going to learn 3 things: how to tolerate different emotions like boredom, how to be kind to ourselves when boredom arises, and something to try the next time you're bored. Hi, I'm waving back. Something to try next time you're bored. So, number 1, how to tolerate difficult emotions. So the problem with boredom, it isn't really the fact that we're bored, it's the fact that we have a perception that boredom is bad. So we're judging boredom, saying it's a bad thing. It's like most things in life. Trent Shelton, I think I'm saying his name right, said something the other day that really, really resonated with me. And it said, your perception is either your power or your prison. And I was like, yes, that is so true with everything in life. I talk a lot about body image and the way you think about yourself and the world. And even if someone ignores you in the street, whatever perception you have of that, your body image or that person, can either put you in a position of power or it can get you in your own prison of negative things. And this is a bit like boredom, whereas boredom's not a great emotion to feel. Like I said, the main problem with boredom isn't boredom itself, it's what we think about boredom. So as the human beings that we are, when we deem something is bad, we want to get rid of it right away. So let's look at our assumption that boredom is a bad thing. So while it may not feel good, because boredom, let's be honest, doesn't feel great, research has shown that boredom actually enhances our creativity. So being uninterested in what's going on around us, aka bored, it pushes us inward, which is what we don't like to do, and it gets us to dream up ideas and activities that are stimulating to us, because none of us like being bored. So we can use this process as adults, but think about it when you were a child. Like, how many times did you say, Mum, I'm bored? But then also, how many times did you actually find something to do? Whether it was something ridiculous, like I have a fond memory of me and my cousin. Does anyone know what a soda stream is? Comment on Instagram, do you know what a soda stream is? Let me go back to my Facebook because I'm not actually looking at myself on Facebook. If anyone's with me on Facebook, I don't know if anyone is, I can't even use this properly. If anyone knows what a soda stream is anyway, I'm going to talk about what it is in a minute. It's a really cool old-fashioned thing and it makes everything fizzy. So if you put a liquid into this, this isn't a soda stream, this is my bottle that comes everywhere with me, but it's like you put liquid in and then you plug it in, press the button and it puts fizz, like carbon dioxide or whatever fizz is, and makes stuff fizzy. So as a child, when I was bored, I had a soda stream because I got it from a car boot sale for like £2, and I used to put everything in this soda stream. Like milk was in this soda stream and I made people drink it, like juice, tea, anything really weird. So the point I'm getting at is, you probably wouldn't want to do that as an adult, let's be honest. But when you were a kid, when you were bored, you found stuff to do. But as an adult, we just moan that we're bored and we just don't like the feeling. So the point I'm getting at is, as adults, we need to learn how to be comfortable feeling bored, which brings me to the next point that I want to make. So when we look at the feeling of boredom as being bad, we want to get away from it. It's like if you try not to think about something, you think about it even more. And it's the same with an emotion. So we can't get rid of our emotions, let's be honest. Even though we've tried, if we're angry, sad, upset, we just want to get rid of it or numb it, hence why we binge. Binge eating, I think, is something different, but that's another topic for another time. That's why we eat emotionally. That's why some people are addicted to porn and sex and shopping and all that stuff. So we don't like to sit in these negative emotions. But the thing is, if we learn to sit with these emotions, and instead of saying things like, oh my God, I'm so bored, it needs to go away straight away because it's a bad thing, we can do something instead and just sit there and be like, oh, I'm bored. It is what it is. It's neither good or bad. And I can just point out that if we're accepting something, whether that be what I'm talking about now, aka boredom, or whether that be something else, like accepting the body image that you just don't like at the moment, if you accept it, it doesn't mean you have to like it. It just means it is what it is, because what choice have you got? You can either accept something or fight something, and you can't change it in this instance. So accept, let's go back to boredom, accept that you're bored, and it is what it is. Don't label it good or bad, don't judge it, just accept that you're bored. I was listening to the Calm app the other day, and I heard a really good quote, and it said, I'll probably annihilate this, but it says something like this: when we pay attention to boredom, it gets surprisingly interesting. I think I nailed that. So that really kind of made me smile, because we just try and run away from this all the time. So practice next time you're bored, instead of trying to fight the boredom, just accepting that you're bored. And then when we can hold an emotion like this without fighting it, we don't get as hooked into it. And it's almost like we're the sky. So imagine you're the blue sky, or if you're in England, the grey sky. But actually, I'm in the Netherlands right now, and it's actually bright sunshine. So we're the sky, and all your thoughts and judgments and emotions are just clouds. And the clouds are like just passing by, and you're the sky. You don't become the cloud. A lot of people do, but this takes practice. Don't become the cloud of your emotion. Just notice the emotion. Hope that helps. So how to be kind to yourself then? Because step 2, when you notice that you're bored, how do you be kind to yourself? So now we're allowing boredom to be there without judging it. That was step number 1. We're going to bring out this tool, which I always talk about in everything: compassion, self-compassion. Like self-compassion and self-love and self-empathy is everything. So, even though we're not struggling with the emotion anymore, it can still be difficult to feel the emotion, because boredom's not a nice emotion to feel. So instead of thinking there must be something wrong with me, I shouldn't feel this way, why am I bored, no one else seems to be bored, blah, 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 I ask my clients, would you talk to yourself the way you've talked to yourself? Would you talk to your mum, best friend, sister in the same way? Most likely they answer no, because they talk to themselves like shit. So ask yourself that. Whenever you're feeling any negative emotion, if you're talking to yourself like shit, then change it, because that's not going to make you feel any better. And that's a really big one. Give yourself self-compassion. And the action step then, number 3, the action step you can actually do to help you get out of boredom. Well, one is you can find a really random thing to do, like when you were a child, or something that's really, really powerful when you're bored is to remind yourself of your values. And if you're not sure what your values are, I'm going to put a link below these videos, but in my blog post that I'm reading from now, which I wrote earlier, I have a link in there as well, so check it out. It's a really cool exercise. It doesn't take long, but it actually tells you what your personal values are. So when you've got your personal values in front of you, is one of your values something that you can do when you're bored? For example, if connecting with people is one of your values, then hop onto a video call with somebody, and connects with them that way? Or is learning, like one of my values is personal development. So there's so much you can learn. If you go on Google and type in free online courses, or go on podcasts, or there's so much information you can consume for free. So if personal development is one of your values, then eat your heart out. You've got plenty to choose from. Do that. And then when I found myself bored, not so much now because I run my own business and there's always loads of stuff to do, and I'm obsessed with personal development as well, so there's always stuff to do. Instead of being unsure of what to do, another one of my values is helping people. So then if it's one of your values too, how can you go and help somebody today? You know, getting out of your own head again. I know at the moment you probably can't physically go to somebody because most of us are on lockdown. In the Netherlands, we're not actually on lockdown. We're allowed out and stuff as normal. In fact, I've never seen it so busy outside. It's crazy. But you've got to stand 1.5 meters away from each other, else you get a €400 fine. So we're not on lockdown. But what I'm saying is, if helping someone is your value, then how can you help someone? How can you just send them a nice message? Can you bake them some cookies? Then, like, I don't know, knock on the door, then put them on the door and then just run away? Whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. Can you help someone? Which is why I've wrote this blog post today and done these videos with you guys today, because I want to help people. Like, this is why I coach, because I've been through what I've been through. If you want to know my story, check it out on my website. And I want to help women come out the other side from what I've been through. And just in general, I like to help people, which is why I'm rabbiting on, trying to multitask with 2 videos and a blog post all at the same time, hoping it's going to work. But the root cause of me doing this is so I can actually help people. So I hope that does help. In a nutshell, let the boredom be. Don't try and fight it. Be kind to yourself and remember what's important to you, and then go and do something that's important to you. And one thing I will want to say before I end is, you know, there's so much stuff going on social media at the minute. You've got the people who are really freaking out and really scared and negative, and that's fine. You've got the people the opposite direction, which is probably one of me, like I'm being, is just being over positive and everything's going to be fine, which I really genuinely believe it will. But then you've also got people who are almost making you feel guilty if you're not being productive. Don't feel guilty if you're not taking this time to be productive. Don't feel guilty or shameful if you're not taking this time to all of a sudden get a 6-pack or whatever. You know, everyone who knows me knows that working out is important to me, and I do it every day, like, well, 5-6 days a week. But that doesn't mean that everyone else should as well. That's because I've always done that, and I'm going to continue to do that. But if you feel like you want to start something, you know, start working out from home because you've got the extra time, that's amazing. Reach out to me. I've got so many people that are friends in the personal training world, and obviously I can help you as well. And reach out to me and I can give you some tips and things like that. But again, don't think you have to. Don't feel pressured to change your life in this time. If you need to just take time for yourself and chill and sunbathe outside or watch Netflix or whatever, then do that as well. Just do what feels right for you in here. Be compassionate with yourself. And I mean it when I say, email me or message me. My WhatsApp number's on Facebook, not on Instagram, but if you go on my website, you can get it from Instagram on my bio. And if you want to chat, or you generally are struggling with something, just message me. I really will send you a voice message back and help you as much as I can. So anyway, that's me done. Let me get back onto my video. Sending you guys so much love, as always. If you need me, reach out to me, and I love you. Excuse me while I turn all these off. Who am I going to turn off first? Instagram. Love you, Instagram. And